Padmasri, then she bombards with questions.
Yeah, yesterday she started. So we didn't have much time. So today it is dedicated to Padmashri. So
The thing is, see, so far all theory is done now. Now we have to get into practical to reach that. What you are experiencing, something similar. We also should get experience
for that you need to do it all the time.
all the time. Huh?
There is no shortcut.
Yeah, so if you are in that majority of the time, then you start getting.
That intuition-based life will be so nice.
Good morning, Sri Hari.
Morning, Sherry. Good morning, Velas. Good morning, good morning, Lata.
Morning.
So actually, just an example. Today, while taking bath, I got another vision or whatever, or an experience. Now the question was, who is teaching the red blood cells and the white blood cells and the brain cells and heart cells and so many cells what they're supposed to do? This is the question. I have the answer. So let's see what you guys can come up with after hearing for the last 2.5 years.
That it knows by itself. The intelligence is contained in that.
Yes, intelligence is contained in that. Very true. How does that intelligence come?
I think this is a basic building block. It is purusha and prakriti sanyoga that makes that. But when all put together, that is a karma-based adjustment then.
No, that is correct. But
basic kriya happens because of, I don't know whether that is it karma-based or without that. But my feeling is it is a basic building block.
No, cells are the basic building block. Now the question comes, how do they know what they're supposed to do? Like, when we wake up, we don't know what we're supposed to do, but they know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, that is sahaja sthiti. My feeling is it is on its own.
Correct. So, who is guiding them?
Who is guiding is... It is not, Brahman is not guiding.
Okay.
I don't know, Prakriti. Prakriti is it a combination of our vasana, karma, something?
No. How does a red blood cell know that what is the function of a red blood cell? Hello, Padmasri. I was waiting for you to answer to your question. So, in the meanwhile...
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Late.
No, it's okay. Since you have come, there is a question before to answer to your question. The question here came when I was taking bath. Who is explaining to the red blood cells and the white blood cells and the brain cells and heart cells and kidney cells and so many cells we have in the body what they should be doing all the time? Who teaches them? Like in our case, we need some training. We need something to be there. So we have to learn from ABCD and onwards, and then we are working. So why that rule is not applicable to these cells? And how do they know what they are doing? So that's a question.
That's an interesting question, but from my viewpoint, just like, today we are taught, given trainings for so many things, but as soon as a child is out of the womb, it is not taught how to breathe.
Correct.
It knows that is the natural. That is the natural. So like that, since these red blood cells or WBC or anything, they do only what is natural to them. They don't do anything else. So that need not be taught. That is natural.
Correct.
So we as human beings want to do so many things. That is why we require trainings. but they all do what they naturally are meant to do, only what they are naturally meant to do. So you don't. Nothing needs to be that. That is the basic nature of them. So when they come, that is what they will do, without any teaching. So that's my view of what you're meaning, the answer to the question.
Yeah, it is fairly right that it is the natural way. Then why are we doing artificial way then?
No, that is the problem, right? If we all went back to natural, meaning if we just be, we will be in the path of liberation already.
Right. Okay. To answer to this question is that this is what is called as Mahat, universal intelligence. So everything is already available in Prakriti on how it should function. So the functioning knowledge is already there in Prakriti. What should become what? Like if you were to watch the womb of, let us say, tiger and lion and horse and all of that, and the embryo at a 3 month stage with human, you will not find any difference. Absolutely no difference. And if you were to compare with dog and cat and so many other species around who have a womb, or you take a 2 week embryo and then you check, everything looks like an amphibian, including human. So it exactly knows what should be made of the 5 elements. Nobody needs to teach. So these cells exactly know. They have that Mahat. And from that comes the Buddhi, which is given to the individual based upon his or her karma. So this is the answer. So nobody has to teach them. So what is consciousness doing is that it just putting light on that, making it live. So it stays there for some time and departs. That's all it does. Nothing else that Purusha is doing.
But Purusha is responsible for giving that energy. Then only that can happen. Without Purusha, things will not happen.
Then you don't believe in Mahat, because then Mahat becomes part of Purusha, and Purusha has got nothing to do with intelligence.
1 minute. Mahat is independent of Purusha?
Yes, sir. Mahat is...
And it will do something on its own?
No, that is what the 24 tattvas are all about. They are Prakriti and one Purusha, 25.
So Prakriti will manifest on its own without Purusha?
Prakriti remains as Prakriti, Purusha remains as Purusha, as we understood yesterday, day before yesterday, and all the days.
Okay, but Prakriti was inert so far. Now,
yes, the Buddhi is also inert.
No, Mahat is something.
No,
it will change.
No, Mahat is also inert. As soon as the consciousness comes, it knows what to do.
So the action will happen of Mahat only when that conscious comes.
Yes, otherwise not.
That when Purusha comes. Okay. I just did that one.
Yes.
So it has got that guna within Prakriti, because Bhagavanta is a gunatita. So guna of Prakriti will change. Okay, it will start acting when Purusha puts its light on that. That's energy.
Yes, just like a movie where the director is like the Purusha, the actors are like Prakriti. Based upon the script, the action happens. Simple.
I got it. The intelligence or a memory, everything is Prakriti. Clear.
Yes. So, which is...
Now what you're telling is that blood, whatever happens, it is not because of our karma or our intellect or manas. It happens because of its own math.
Yes, it knows what to do, but to die or to sustain or to kill itself or what it should do, it is based upon karma.
Got it. So which means Prakriti is intelligent.
Yes, prakrti is indeed intelligence. That's the reason it's called as nature. Nature exactly knows what to do. But it will not do without purusha. If purusha is withdrawn, there is no prakrti in its manifestative state.
Yeah, yesterday I read one nice thing. If things are happening the way you think, you are happy. If things are not happening the way you think, it will go in the negative direction. Still you be happy because it is happening the way what Bhagavanta thinks.
That is correct. See, there is no good and bad in Bhagavanta or consciousness or Brahman or Atman or whatever we want to call. Naming has got nothing to do with anything. See, just because it looks red and to the eyes, and then we have found out there is a pigment, and that pigment is part of the blood, and that is the reason why it is looking red. And those cells look red. Because of that reason, it is called as red blood corpuscles. But you go and ask it, are you RBC? They will laugh at us. Because they have got nothing to do with what is being called. They are there in this body for some time creating action, and then as the time departs, they die. They don't seek permission from any one of us. Hey, you know what? I'm dying. I wish you, please wish me best of luck. I don't know what I'm going to become next. No. None of us have ever had an experience of a red blood cells or a white blood cell or some blood cell or some cells coming and talking to us individual and saying that, hey, you know what, I'm asked to die. What should I do? I don't want to die. Can you help me?
So that dying is our survival. Production and dying.
That is our survival or rather our death. Because the more they produce and the more they die, the more aged a person becomes. And he's helpless actually. The Jarata is helpless situation. Nobody can escape old age.
Yes. What is the life of that blood cell dying?
RBC.
As per Ayurveda. RBC.
RBC is 120 days.
That means every 120 days you have a new blood.
You have a new cell. And every 75th day it prepares that cell to die. So it keeps on feeding it to die.
And the birth happens where? In the same blood? Or it is in the
bone marrow.
Production.
Bone marrow. So when I saw the bone marrow, it looks like a galaxy it looks like a nebula, like a star. Like a huge ball of flame in which so many things are coming out. And so many branching out into so many things. I don't know what it is, but it looks scary. It's like a universe within the body.
That happens only during deep sleep, right? Or it happens daytime also?
It is happening all the time.
But the growth happens during deep sleep.
You will come to know about it because that senses have to get close. The moment it gets close, so you will see the growth happening. But even otherwise, the growth is happening and the senses are operational, so it will camouflage. So you will never come to know the growth. Like the beard, let's say as an example, it will not grow in the night. It keeps on growing all the time. The nails on the finger, they keep on growing, and on the toes. And the brittleness of the bones keeps on happening all the time as the aging progresses. Okay, so everything keeps on happening, and to happen or not to happen in that way.
So brilliant is nature, not God.
Brilliant is nature, which is inert, and this life is given by the Bhagavanta to make it move. That's all. it exactly knows what to do. To change or not to change right now is dependent on the karma. Like the cancer patient and me today, whom I'm attending to, if I were to compare, the person is called having a cancer because the multiplication of the cells are more than what the body can take. So who decided it? It's the karma decided that it should create more of these cells. So it started producing. But Mahat doesn't know anything about anything else. It only knows to generate, sustain, and destroy. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. So it is doing that. It is creating, it is sustaining for some time, and it is destroying. That's all it is doing. To clean or not to clean, to remove or not to remove, to be this way or that way of the cells or of the tissue or of the dhatus or whatever we want to call, that is decided by the karma. No human intervention or godly intervention is allowed because it is based upon karma. So actually karma is the god, nobody else. Human being doesn't understand that karma is the god. Karma is completely the god. The person is getting benefit because he had done good deed. Person is getting punishment through his body because he had done bad deed. So the mental body to which this physical is attached to undergoes changes under its own skin. So there should be a feeling. So those beings who have done punya in the past will either have a neutral feeling or will have a pleasurable feeling depending upon what the mind is thinking, the sukshma sharira, whatever it is doing. And if they have done papa, then they will have a painful sensation appearing in the body and the same painful sensation appearing in the mind. So in both the places, pain. In both the places, pleasure. So whatever this person touches, he is having pleasure. And whatever that other person touches, he is having pain. He has a mental pain thinking about why it is happened to him like that. Why did I get cancer? I have not done anything wrong in this life as much as I remember that I have done. Why still I am to suffer? So the mind thinks, but the thinking has got nothing to do with the cell reproduction. They keep on reproducing endlessly because that is karmic cycle. So it endlessly reproduces. So that is Mahat. It knows what to do. And the decision is given by the karma. And for the karma to work, the consciousness gives it the power. So there is movement. So consciousness only gives the movement. Everything else is a matter of choice of what the person in that sukshma sharira had done. So now he has to reap good existence or he has to reap the bad existence. And if there are who are saints and sages who have understood this, they will reside in neutrality. And that person who is in samachittatva, or what I can say, the sthita prajna, that person alone will liberate because Brahman is neutrality without having liking or disliking. So there is no moha basically. See, if I were to see my own self today, how can there be any moha? They are not listening to me. They exactly know what to do. So there's no moha anymore. So what's the difference between my body and my wife's body, my son's body, or all of your body? The same thing. They're all cells, they're just moving, and if we are healthy, so called healthy right now, without any pains, and mentally also healthy without any worries, it's all because of the karma is doing it, not because I am doing anything to it. I have no power to do anything except for watching it. So the consciousness just watches, being aware of what's happening, not getting attached to the prakriti. Just watch. That's the job. Anyway, coming back to the question of Padma Shri. But did I answer, or any other? If you want me to answer on what did I find today?
Yeah, that is fine. You can go ahead with the Padma Shri yesterday's continuation.
Okay. So Padma Shri question was about entanglement. So before closing, since but you were not there, before closing, Lata asked a question, or we were discussing, and Lata has bought another book from Sadhguru. So she has read there that if somebody were to, what I can say, heal somebody, and that healing causes entanglement. And so I agreed to it. So Padma Shri came out with a nice, what I can say, with full vigor and strength about how entanglement works, and why am I saying that healing somebody is going to create an entanglement. So I gave limited answer because
No, that was not the question. The question was
good. Go ahead.
that the question was that when you say entanglement, meaning see the topic came to the point that there is a difference between giving energy and then healing it, giving my energy and then healing it, that causes entanglement. But showing the direction will not cause entanglement. That is what was the answer that came out.
Correct.
From when for Lata's question with respect to Sadhguru's book. Then I asked, there is no way that you can give your energy. Why do we feel that we are giving our energy? Because we are saying there is no way that I can remove the karma of somebody. Whatever he is undergoing, it is his karma. So there is no way that you can reduce the pain by giving something from you there. So why do you say that there is a possibility to give your energy to that person to reduce it? Only then it is an entanglement. Whether there is a possibility at all to give that energy to somebody else. That was the question.
Okay, so let me answer it. So let us go something into understanding what is pranic healing and all that. And since I also do some pranic healing thing for people or my wife, so let me explain to you how this whole equation works. So there are two kinds of energy in this nature, meaning even though there is only one single energy called as consciousness, but you can have two kinds of energy. One is a mental energy, one is a physical energy. The physical energy, which is manifested from the food we eat, that is called as ojas. So that is energy. Mental energy depends upon the purity of the person. So there is an energy which gets consumed either by working or by giving or doing something. So in both the cases, there is an exhaustion of energy. So the person keeps on refueling both the mental energy and the physical energy. Physical energy is created through the ojas. Same ojas is utilized by the mental. So both of them remove the ojas. So the tejas burns that ojas. So this is how the energy keeps on working. Now let's say my wife is having backache. So she comes to me. Then what I do is I start moving my hand on her back, and the energy passes through my body to her body. Okay, and there is a manifestation of the energy, and that changes the molecular placement of these Prithvi, Apo, Vayo, Tejo, or the cell alignment, or whatever we can call that as. And because there is a molecular changes, the prana which was held up in that particular place is relieved. And because the prana is relieved, the person now has no blockage of prana. So she feels relieved of her backache. And she tells me that it is fine. So let's say she has a headache, I do the same thing. She has a ache in her thighs or whatever it is. So this is the same process. So by touch, I can be able to change the blockage of that prana, and she finds relief. Taking this forward, there is something called as pranic healing. In that, what happens is you create an environment which makes you positive. So by meditation, you can take the energy from the nature, okay, or cosmic energy, whatever way we want to call that as, and then that person can send the energy to the other person, just like what we did in the case of that cancer patient who had come on 28th of June. We did not touch her, that is myself and my friend's daughter. We did not touch her, but without touching, we were transferring the energy to those cells which were overreactive. So there was changes in the structure. So due to that reason, when the PET scan was done last week, the quantity, the size of that the tumor got by, I think, 1/4 the size than what it was earlier. So by consistently we doing and she doing it, she can ultimately get rid of this pain to a greater extent and live for a long period of time. Okay, this is possible with any healing process, call it as Reiki or pranic healing, or call by whatever name can be called as. This has been there around, and it will be there forever, because that is possible. Now this is called as manifesting the matter through energy. So you can change it because you have the ability to limitedly change the displaced body parts to a certain extent, or you can help the person. Now where is this entanglement happening? Now when we use our energy, there is always a possibility or a risk of attracting pride or attracting any kind of negative tendency which ultimately harm the person who is radiating the energy to that other person. Because what happens here is that he needs to cleanse back that energy which is coming back to him. So when I send my energy to my wife, even though she is the wife of mine, but in reality neither she is a wife or I am a husband. We two are two separate beings having two separate karma, and we don't have anything to do with each other. So her pain, if I were to take it, I am trying to modify the karmic essence of that person. So there would be this, whatever she is having will come back to me as a reflection of her energy. So now what I need to do is I need to cleanse it. So there is a way of cleaning those energy which comes back to you so that it doesn't harm. Now the entanglement here is that I don't do it. Now this person gets entangled in that energy. So it keeps on draining his energy or her energy who is trying to cure somebody. So many times I have watched that if I don't cut that energy, like in the case of my wife, when I am healing her backache, after some time, if I have not cut through the process of cleansing it, then that energy hits me back in the same place as she had the pain. So I will encounter exactly the same pain in the same place as she was encountering few minutes ago. So she's also wriggling in pain of backache, and I am also wriggling in the pain of backache. So normally when I do this this healing exercise, I do the cleansing exercise so that that doesn't affect me. Once I clean it, there is no possibility of that energy coming back. Even though it hits back, it cannot penetrate. So that is possible. So there are ways of doing it, but it's again an entanglement. Entanglement either through pride or through prestige or through whatever we get, because people can see that I can heal or do something, and then they keep on coming and I keep on doing, and then ultimately I lose my energy. So this is the what I can say, bad part of doing it, but the good part is that you can limited extent cure people. And highest extent, it like what Sri Raghavendra used to do, or Sai Baba used to do, or anybody used to do, is that you can take the energy, sprinkle water, and due to the sprinkling of water, the person's whatever the disease or whatever is there will immediately go away. Reason being that the karma cannot be changed, or rather karma cannot be removed, but it can be modified by bringing something else. So just like you have bad thoughts, you can replace it with good thoughts. Even though both are karma, good thoughts and bad thoughts are both part of karma. So if we look at the stream of the chitta, you have a good, you have a bad, and you have a neutral. So we have covered this up many number of times. So if that conscience to fall on the good chittas, then you will only have the good thing coming up, not the bad thing. Even though bad thing is there as karma, but they cannot manifest at all. Similarly, the person can manifest good things even though there are hidden bad things or there are manifested bad things. So that is the reason it is called as kushala. Sala is to cut. Ku means the cutting out that bad thing becomes good. Akusala means one who is reaping or growing only bad things. So kushala, akushala karma, if we were to take, both would be there within us. If you have an energy, you can block the bad things from coming. Just like in the nature also, you can see that there is ground, and you can have weeds, and you can also have the medicinal plants. On a similar note, you can remove those weeds, even though the consciousness is least bothered about whether you grow weeds or you grow the medicinal plant, but you can always remove the weeds and keep the medicinal plant. In the same way, you can remove the immoral chittas which arise in the same consciousness, and only prepare the ground for the good chittas or the punya chittas to arrive. So by doing so, the karma gets changed, but the karma is not removed. Both are karma, but you are getting the fruit of good karma rather than the bad karma. So in the case of the autistic child whom I am attending to, or to this cancer, or to whatever I am doing, if I put myself that I am doing it, I am taking the bad karma, because that will exhaust the good intention also. So what I need to do is, when I am associating with people, I need to do like a surgeon who just cuts open, removes the problem, and then puts it back, and then prays to the nature to take care of that person. If we could do the same thing, the entanglement will not be there. Otherwise, it will create an entanglement. Was it convincing, Padmashri?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Only thing is the meaning of entanglement. I was just apart from that negative energy aspect that you brought, I thought it was more like attachment.
No. Entanglement.
This attachment.
Entanglement means that you will get entangled with that person's negative thing which will come out because of doing something.
Okay.
Unless I have misunderstood what Lata wanted to say.
That's, I was telling the same thing only. So whatever you answered yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So this when you try to heal somebody, you will get entangled with it. So, so if you say that you are doing without having the I feeling, then in whatever we have discussed the other way, then that karma will not get attached to you.
Yes.
But the question is, do we have? Is it right to, because somebody has got some disease because of their karma? So is it right to overrule that? Or maybe it is also there in the karma that somebody will come and heal.
Yes, both will be there. No, that thing is like this. If you like, I'll give you a case which recently happened to someone. They were at my home and they were saying to me like this. Their one of the relative had some disease. Okay, and that person was in distress. And on that day of that person's death, normally this person knows so many doctors, and on that particular night he could not find a single doctor who was ready to come, just to come and see what's the problem. That's all. Nobody came. After the person died, after 1 or 2 days, lot of doctors asked him what happened. So, meeting somebody is also part of the karma, or not meeting somebody is also part of karma. So, if somebody is getting an opportunity, like we have got the opportunity today to discuss on this, now it is good or bad because it affects, right? If somebody were to lead a comfortable materialistic life, why are we then changing him to do something else? Like, let us take the youngest person in our group is Sri Hari. He is enjoying his family, his 2 children, having fun. That too, he has got it after so much of God's grace. All that thing has happened, and his wife is dentist, so he is setting up a lot of things for her. He has parents, but then why do we want to change his karma then?
Yeah.
Isn't it impacting him?
Yes.
So should we change, or should we allow him to join here, or we should say that okay, take care of yourself, you are bound to be in the samsara? What do you think? Or I can ask.
I think the guidance you get is also part of the karma.
Yes. So not following is also part of karma, following it is also part of karma. But whoever is giving or doing something, if he or she does not entangle with myself, then the karma will not manifest.
Yeah, so you also, that is one part. So you said you don't have a feeling of that I am doing it, then it will not, the karma will not, it will become a kriya.
Correct.
So then you also talked about this cleansing, right? The cleansing of energy. What is that then? So then there is no need to cleanse if you don't have this feeling of I.
No, that here there are two things. This is manifestation of energy. See, like I'll give you a very simple example. Let us say you are on a beach, right? The water is rising. You know how to swim. Would you still venture into the deep sea?
No.
Because you know there are tides, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, this energy also has tide. So we need to cleanse. Even though the personal thing is not there, but it will affect your body because it is taking from your body energy.
But how do you cleanse an energy?
Wow, this is a process. So now I have to show you the process. There is a process, Lata.
Okay, then I want to know that process.
Yeah, maybe some other day because the video has to be on and then only we can do all of that.
Okay, fine.
And there are a lot of exercises to do it, and there are a lot of yoga asanas also related to that, and then the meditation for that, and so many things are there.
Okay.
All of this will affect your physical layer of your body, to your being. So it will affect Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha. These two koshas will be compromised. So you need to protect that. If I would like to heal somebody, let us say somebody is having some wound on some part of the body. Just guiding them will not cause anything. But if I'm using my hand gestures or thoughts or whatever I want to use and send the energy packet to them, they will get cured for sure. But there is that energy comes back.
But they will get cured for sure is also dependent on that person's karma, right? It is not just dependent on the strength of the energy that is going here.
Correct,
from here.
correct. That is true. But whatever is a physical manifestation, just like you go to a doctor, let's take this example. Forget all of these energies and other things. Now you have cold. Won't you take a tablet or cold or fever or whatever it is? Right now, it is if it is in karma not there to get cured, you will not get cured. If it that means you can't say that okay, taking the tablet is a mistake then. So because you are changing the karma. No, it's not like that. You take the tablet because it will change the chemical composition, and when the chemical composition changes, the body gets relieved of that pain. Aren't we doing it? Aren't we really caring about what the karma is all about there? So the physicality works slightly different than the mentality. So you can't apply the same foundational thing to both. There is subtle difference, not total different, but then it is I don't know how to explain to you except for these examples because this is a big topic to discuss there. This itself is a topic. Just like you have fallen on the road, Lata. In your case, you had a sprain of your let us say your ankle, and then you had to go to the doctor, right?
Yes.
Now, why did you go to the doctor? You should have said that it's my karma, so let me just be there. And
that's true.
And then you applied something to that apart from what the meditation what I taught you, that also you did, but medically also you did something, right?
Yes.
So the body healing is totally different than the karmic cycle. So there is a subtle difference, but there is difference. Otherwise then nobody will get cured of anything at all. So when we sneeze or when we have a flu attack or when we have cold, when we have earache, headache, stomach ache and indigestion, all that, they are not part of karma. They are truly not 100% part of karma. They are just cause and effect. So everything cannot be put under one umbrella called karma and say that, okay, this is karma. For a karma to be formed, there should be an intention. Body has no intention of anything, and that's the reason it is inert. The mind has intention, not the body. But you will feel the result of karma through the body and also through the mind. So it is karma is slightly complex than what we really think karma is all about. So maybe some other day we can discuss in detail of karma.
Okay.
But right now, as it stands, physical pain, physical discomfort, the pain and discomfort is part of karma, how you are going to feel that. But by meditation or by doing something, you are able to forget the pain. Just like a girl who is entered into menstrual cycle, she gets a body ache, and now you can't say it is her karma. She can take medicines, she can take rest, she can drink fluids, she can exercise, she can do all of that to get relieved from that pain. No, I can't say, no, it is her karma, so she shouldn't be doing that. She should, torture herself. Just like what the Jains do. They torture. So they think that the body pain is part of the karma. So the more the pain, the karma will get exhausted. No, you are adding more karma to the karma. That doesn't work.
Yeah, that is that you're being you're doing ahimsa. Himsa to yourself.
Exactly, which is also wrong, right?
That is one of the yamas, right? Yeah.
Yes, that is not at all right. You have to do ahimsa to yourself. So if there is a pain in the body, you have to take care of it. If somebody has fallen on the road, let us say there is an accident and somebody is bleeding, I can't say it is his karma, so what is it for me? I have to help that person. Now I can't say that, oh, my being there was part of my karma and his karma, and that's the reason we both have met. And that would also not be completely right. Even though it is not wrong, it is not completely right either. So entanglement, I think we got entangled now.
We have got deeply entangled in this topic.
Yeah. Padma Shri became silent after making everybody entangled.
Yeah. So I think Padma Shri, you have to take over. So I'm going to mute myself.
For what? Take over what? Take over
directing the discussion.
No, the whole discussion started with that question only. It was already directed.
Yeah. So now it is changing course. So you have to correct it.
See, very simple. Karma equals whatever is intended, not because of anything. If there is no intention, it doesn't become karma, it is kriya. Simple. And all mental kriya will not result in karma. Like eating is also part of karma, if you really see. Getting food is part of it. That means everything becomes karmically oriented. To a limited extent, true, but not 100%. Not like that. Okay, so that ends that topic. So we have another 10 more minutes left. So we can discuss something else. Otherwise, we can end the call today and start from the 10th chapter and Viveka Chudamani tomorrow.
Okay, then I think we can start tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shall we end the session?
Yeah, we will. We can end.
Yeah.
No problem. I need just your 1 minute, Vilas. I'll call you on phone.
Okay, fine. All right.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
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 Thank you.